So we're playing as the Silent, one of the two possible starting characters in Spire. This is sort of a roguey kind of fella here. The build we have been developing is sort of a poison strike build. We've got a fair amount of poison, but it's not the primary source of our damage necessarily. A lot of our damage is going to come from a lot of strikes. So we use poison to enable Bane, for example. And we've got Finisher in here that can hit for a lot of damage. I mean, we've got a little bit of shivs. Power-wise, we've got Noxious Fumes. Is that the only one? It's the only one. So, I mean, it's a couple of different things, but it's actually been working out pretty well overall for us. We actually had a pretty easy run, I think, through the first act. Good boss fight, that sort of thing. Like, it's got enough defense. It's got a little bit of everything going on. Now, I would be particularly happy if we could get a bullet time, I think. I think bullet time would work very well for us. Anyway, we have a decision here. Where are we in the map on this? Right, we started going up this way. So this is the second act. We're going to get a bunch of question marks and hopefully be able to do this elite here. I'm going to go and open the coffin here. So we'll receive another relic. There's a 50% chance that we'll become cursed with a Writhe. So just an unplayable card that we'll want to remove from our deck, hopefully, at some point. We did get it, which sucks. Well, that's right. This was already predetermined because the way the save game works is it saves at the start of an encounter. So I think we finished this encounter and then saved. We already knew we were getting a Mercury Hourglass. That's right. Which is awesome. Really good extra damage. I think we're very pleased with that, right? Is it surely it's possible to save your game state and restore it? It probably is. It probably is a file somewhere. So the Astrolabe doesn't do anything for us anymore, but it did do a lot of upgrades for us, which is great. Gremlin Horn is fantastic. Whenever an enemy dies, we gain an energy and draw a card. The Bag of Marble, at the start of each combat, apply one vulnerable to all enemies, which helps us a little bit. Hasn't been like an insane thing yet, but it's pretty good. I love the toolbox. Start of each combat, get a random colorless card in your hand. The Kunai, every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 dex, which makes our blocking that much better. So the Kunai and a couple of other things like the Finisher, for example, really emphasizes the idea of doing a lot of strikes. I'm not going like heavy shiv yet, although we might end up going that way. So let's go ahead and do this, and let's hope we remember how to play this deck and not die. It's like FTL meets Dungeon Crawler. It's a little Darkest Dungeon. It's a little Binding of Isaac, I feel, with the relic synergy. It's a lot of Dr. Deckenstein, the game I made at Let 'em Dare. It's a lot of things. Transmute adds X random colorless cards to your hand, and it removes itself. Colors cards are pretty good. Now, so these flying dudes, these birds, they are interesting in that they take less damage from attacks. I don't know if the vulnerable cancels that out completely. Depends on how it adds up, but it's only for 1 round. That's while they're flying. If you can hit them 3 times in 1 round, then they stop flying for a while, and they actually get stunned by a round. It's really good. And it's per attack damage, so if you've got stuff like the, the dagger spray or whatever, which actually hits twice, it's actually a really good way to knock them out of flying. Now, we do have the ability to strike one of them 3 times, do we not? No, we don't. We only have 2 attacks in our hand. Okay, well, first we're going to start with Distraction. Interesting. We can triple up one of our cards for next turn. It'll still cost energy. There's something to be said about maybe triple poison stabbing. We could triple up on Survivor, but I don't think that's the way to victory. We could triple up on Alchemize to get a bunch of potions, but I also don't think that's a great idea. I think tripling up on Poison Stab is fine. It'll guarantee we have at least 3 attacks in our hand next round as well, which means we're going to be able to knock these guys out of flying. Poison is a good way around the flight, making this worse. So I think we're going to Nightmare the Poison Stab. Now, I think I'm going to Survivor, discarding the Writhe, because why not? And I might just have to accept that I'm taking 2 damage. There's something to be said about eliminating all damage, but I think with 2 damage, it's probably best to just apply some extra attack. Even though the strike only does half damage, maybe we'll Alchemize. Okay, I think the Survivor's a no-brainer. I mean, we could multiply Transmutation. Well, we're not going to multiply Transmutation. We could have cast Transmutation. We're definitely going to poison stab. Because poison ticks work pretty well for us. Yeah. The strike will only do 4 damage. That's interesting. So, the vulnerability and the flight, they're not the same meter. So, is it doing 50% more and then 50% less? I think so. It's making the strike do 9, and then divided by 2 rounded down, it's making it into 4 damage. Or is it the other way around? 3 damage and then 50% more rounded down. Either way, I guess it's about the same. Most colors cards are 0 cost, which is pretty nice. That's true. I guess I will just defend to take nothing, because we're trying to preserve our hit points, especially on this particular dude. There's something to be said about Alchemize, which should also be nice. But I think I'm just going to take nothing on this one. No, we're not going to transmute for 0. Although, maybe I could have transmuted for 0 just to remove it from my deck. I know it gives you the result of the math. It was going to do 4. I just didn't know how it got there. Oh yeah, and we do the damage with Mercury Hourglass as well. Which isn't attack damage, so they do take it. Underhanded Strike is nice if we can discard it. We also have the Bane, which deals double damage. And the Finisher, which I think it actually does hit multiple times. It doesn't just add it into 1. And you're going to do 13. So, we could do some block stuff. You're the only one poisoned. Like, we could just strike this guy 3 times to stop him from attacking us for 13. I think that's what we're going to do. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to poison stab him. Then I'm going to bane him. That'll count as 3 attack damages. So that'll knock him out of the flight. He won't attack me. And then the question is, with our last power, Cloak and Dagger for a Shiv? Or Poison Stab some more? Probably we can Cloak and Dagger in a Shiv. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Poison Stab this guy. And Bane him. Doesn't do much damage, but it will be a total of 3 attacks. So he gets stunned, which is great. So this would count as 2 attacks, which doesn't knock anyone off. I think I'll just stab this guy then, because he's not flying, so he'll take the full damage. I still have the regen potion, but... I'm always happy the attacks are so fast. So I only have to hit him for 5 for him to die. Phantasmal Killer, next attack, my attack damage is double. These guys are just going to buff themselves for strength this turn, which is nice. Bouncing Flask is great. I probably... Okay, well, Bouncing Flask, and depending on how many poison charges he gets, I may not have to attack him. I might just be able to kill him with Neutralize, or I'll have to kill him with Bane. I'd love to get Noxious Fumes down as well, but it's a little late for that. Okay, so he's going to die from his 8 damage, which is lovely. Bane is going to do 3 damage twice, so it's not going to be enough to kill him. I might Noxious Fumes. Or I'll just Phantasmal Killer. We don't know what we're going to draw next turn. Don't forget about Gremlin Horn. That's true. So I'll be drawing an extra card from him. I'm not going to be killing him right now. I think we may as well just Noxious Fumes here. And then we'll just weakness this guy. Bring him a little closer to death. There's a good chance we'll just be seeing him die next turn. So he's going to die. We'll get to draw a card. The energy won't carry over, unfortunately, but he didn't hit me. Did I not use all my energy last time? Did Bane plus neutralize and fail to get... I don't know. Bane to use another action. That's true. Okay, he's got 5 poison. He's at 5 hit points, so he's going to die. He's got some poison stacks on him. I'm not going to be able to get the Masterful Strike. He's only going to deal 3, so that's 6 damage. That's 11 damage. That's 13 damage, so he's not going to die. I could get really lucky with some bouncing strikes if it all landed on him. Bouncing flasks. I think we'll Bane stab, because he'll be stunned anyway. Oh, right, I neutralized him. Derp. Yeah, he's going to die next turn from, like, with all the poisons and the AoE damage and shit, it's going to be fine. Here, I'll Phantasmal Killer in case it matters. Okay. Thinking too hard. You can get to the point of not taking damage. And, alright. This is an upgraded Deadly Poison, which is quite a lot. And we are... I mean, we're poison-centric enough. We also do, like, a lot of attacks. And the card draw is nice. I like that they're both upgraded. I don't think we're going to bother with Outmaneuver here. It's nice, don't get me wrong. It's a lot more damage and the draw. Well, after 2 turns, this is 11 damage. And more so if you're comboing it with all sorts of other poison effects. The nice thing about Deadly Poison is it does bypass armor. And thorns. Although sometimes you get hosed from playing skills. Yeah, I mean, it adds up to a lot more damage. You don't always get every single tick out of it. 21 slow damage versus 12 plus draw. I think the quick slash might be a better pick here. Especially with kunai and whatever. We don't have anything that gives us extra energy yet, but we'll be looking for it. I don't know. Could heal 23. We're only down 15. I think we'll read. They're not upgraded. Blur is good. I don't know if we're doing that quite yet. Deal 7 damage X times. Footwork's good. It's a power, so it sticks around, and it doesn't, like, clog up your deck. A second Noxious Fume is amazing. Bouncing Flask is good. We don't have anything that's giving us more energy, though. I'm tempted to just go with the second Fumes. We're not shiving, really. We've got, like, 1 Cloak and Dagger, so accuracy is not critical for us. I think a second Fume is great. They're just lovely. Okay, I love this event. This is not the time to take this one. I think it would make our deck objectively worse. So, it removes... In a sense, assuming you haven't removed any strikes from your deck before, it replaces all your strikes with bites. Bites are a 7 damage strike, so they're better than a normal strike, and they heal 2 hit points. Like, this is really cool. You do lose 30% of your max HP. We're going to skip this one because it would hurt our deck at this point. If you get this, like, right at the start of the game, you, like, base your entire deck around these bites. I think upgraded, they do, it's like 8 damage and 3 HP. So, you get a lot of, like, sustain. You get a lot of sustain, but, yeah, I think it would just thicken our deck with stuff that doesn't really combo. You cannot lose max HP if you have a specific relic. Really? There's a relic where you don't lose any? I don't have that. I don't know if I've ever seen it. So I'm just going to refuse. Okay, so, I mean, we're only down 15 HP. We're going to go for an elite. We do know there's going to be another fight right after, which is too bad. I gotta say, the one advantage of going the right branch over here is that we do get a shop where we can get rid of our curse. And we're not going to shop at all on the left branch. On the other hand, I hear relics are pretty good. Of course, there's always a chance of getting a relic at the question mark. And we get the shop. Removing that curse is going to be pretty freaking huge. I'm actually thinking we're going to go down the right branch. We can get an elite fight over here if we want one. I've got enough money to buy something. Well, probably buy and remove. I'm gonna go with a shop route. I didn't expect to do that, but okay. So we got a fight here. This guy's actually really fun to fight. His first turn, what he does is confuse you. Confuse makes it so that every time you draw a card, it has a randomized cost to cast it. So some of the cards we'll draw will suddenly have cost 0, and some will cost 4, and whatever. We get to start with 2 Noxious Fumes as well. Well, we're going to Dramatic Entrance here. I like this as our random card. Innate, so it starts in your hand, which would have happened anyway, because that's the event. And deals 6 damage to all enemies, and it's a one-shot deal. We can't really stack that any higher. I mean, I guess we could save this in to maybe get a Kunai charge later on. But I don't think it's critical. I think we're just going to poison the heck out of him. Noxious, Noxious, Stabby, Stabby. We have a lot of passive damage with this. With the 2 Noxious plus the Mercury Hourglass. So I'm confused. But it can be so much fun. There's an item, Sneko's Eye, which lets you draw 2 extra cards per turn. But you automatically start confused every combat. It's awesome! Okay, so... Wow. Yeah, this is not a great hand. Now, I could Distraction. It'll give me something that costs 0 this turn. I could just Phantasmal Killer and hope we get a really nice, good round next turn. I could just Bane him to do 14 damage and then hit him with another 6. So that's 20 damage turn. We have no way to defend that. I don't know. I think we Bane Finisher, but it doesn't feel very good. An amazing... If we get super lucky with Distraction... then we could get something awesome, but no. We'll just go ahead. Double damage. And 6 over there. And end turn with a lot of energy left over. It'd be nice if we had Ice Cream. I mean, in general, it'd be nice to have Ice Cream. But in particular, Ice Cream lets you save energy between rounds, so that would be great. So there's a 22-point attack. It'd be great to weaken him this turn, but apparently that's not going to happen. Like, that's an expensive Cloak and Dagger. I'm thinking we Quick Slash. See what comes up. A 3-point neutralize. Bromp, bromp. We needed a 0 cost neutralize so we could reduce the damage. We're taking insane amounts of damage here. I could Cloak and Dagger and block a little bit of it. The Shiv gets added to your hand. It's not a draw, so it's definitely going to come in as a 0. But I'm thinking we just Bane. If we get lucky, we can burn him down next turn. I don't know. Where are we here? Campfire, Campfire... Campfire. I think we're gonna take the damage. This has been a particular poor confusion for us. Lots of 2-cost cards. But we should be able to kill him this turn. He's gonna hit another 22? I hope we can kill him then. I should have flashed at the start of this. So, that'll add an extra 9 damage to him. That brings him to 21. And then I guess we alchemize and hope that we get like a fire potion or something. Well, yeah. Flask is a kill? Well, not before he attacks. Because the Mercury Hourglass at the start of my turn. Start of my turn, I deal damage. Yeah. If poison hits him at the start of their turn, but that's it. So we get a second regen. I mean, at least he can't kill me. And I will be able to regen a lot of hit points from these potions, thank goodness. And he's dead at the start of my turn from the Merc. And even if he didn't, he'd have way too much poison. There's a fire potion that we could use to avoid a bunch of damage. I'm not taking calculated gamble. The question is, do I take anything? And if I do, is it cloak or backflip? And we don't have really any energy gainers, so I'm not sure that the extra draws are the way to go. Cloak might be very good, though, because it does combo well with kunai. If I had any bonus energy, backflip becomes a no-brainer. But I don't think I'm going to skip. I think I'm going to take the cloak. Okay, so we have no hit points. Hopefully they don't kill us round 1. Alright, we're going to double potion. This guy's going to hit me for 12 first round. I'm assuming these stack. Alright. Oh, they don't stack the way I was hoping! Right. They stack in duration. Oh, they're both attacking me round 1. Am I just dead? I didn't get the block. That's a lot of fucking damage. Unfortunately, I'm still going to take 9. I wonder if I drank that strength. No, I couldn't kill both. Wow, that Snecko fight.